I have this thing about architecture. I specifically love that sweet spot between prairie school and arts and crafts. I want a house that looks like Frank Lloyd Wright had a baby with the Green brothers. Why? Why does it matter if the rafters are exposed or the joinery is beautiful? Because the world is hard. It's full of sharp edges and ugly truths, you guys. Beauty, whether it's a well-designed home, a perfect latte art pour, or a sunrise over the Cascades, is the soft place where our eyes can rest. And we need that rest. I'm Nick Walton. I'm a coffee roaster, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a wee farmer, and I can't stop thinking about the invisible scripts that run our lives. You're listening to The Values Sort. This is a field guide to the values that shape the patterns of thinking and behaviors that end up shaping our entire lives. This is essay number 25, A World of Beauty. There's a farm near my home where you can still pick. Blueberries, cherries, raspberries, apples, and peaches. We go there several times each season. This used to be a part of everybody's lives, picking and choosing their own fruit, flowing with the seasons. People would know when it was a good year for green beans, a bad year for apples. I can think of few things more beautiful in my life, few things that ground me in my natural environment more than retrieving a harvest of fruit or veggies from my beautiful valley. Every summer I stand there among the peaches and the cherries, and I am in wonderment, and I hope it will never end. I hope it will always be this spiritually awake for me. I feel lucky to live where I live. Maybe we're all lucky to live where we live, but I feel lucky to live where I live. Standing in nature, in the summertime, in the golden late afternoon hours, with a mouthful of sun-warmed peach, it may be as close to heaven as we get in this lifetime, and I'm committed to drinking those experiences in just as often as I can. My favorite song is a tune by the incomparable Macy Gray. It's called Beauty in the World. Maybe you've heard it. If not, stop what you're doing. Right here, right now. Open a browser window or the YouTube app or Spotify or Apple Music or whatever you use and go listen to Beauty in the World. It says, shake your booties, boys and girls, for the beauty in the world. Pick your diamond, pick your pearl. There's beauty in the world. And that's what it's all about. Picking our diamonds, picking our pearls. Recognizing that there's beauty in the world. And what's more, we can bring it. We can build it. We can be the source of so much beauty. A world of beauty, to me, is more of a concept to be believed in than a product to be found or owned. We can find beauty in the smallest things. Once when I was young, I read about someone who sectioned off a 1-meter square of forest. He drove stakes in the ground and strung string, and he got inside the square, and he stayed there for as long as it took for him to fully appreciate the fullness of the square. He eventually began to recognize individual blades of grass. He watched insects go about their lives, scooting over and making room for them. And I think that's profoundly beautiful, to register attention in our lives. I want to bring that attention to the beautiful everywhere I go. You know, I have a beautiful relationship with my brother. My brother's a lot like me, but he's larger and kinder. He's 5 years my junior, and I wish we'd always loved one another the way we do now. I wish we'd known better. I wish we'd known that two are better than one, and that together we're more than the sum of our parts. People, I think, generally, genuinely, like having either of us in the room, but not nearly as much as having both of us in a room. We're funnier, and we're friendlier when we're together. Perhaps the most beautiful thing about my brother, to me, is the way he loves my family. The comfort my children feel with him and his children. We could, if pressed, live under a single roof, I have no doubt. There would be a little friction, perhaps, that's people, but we would thrive together. Our childhood was a childhood. It was beautiful, it was awful. It was frightening, and it was comforting. It was clean, and it was dirty. And we are, to one another, ones who can be trusted to hold one another up. He is my mycorrhiza. I have a beautiful relationship with my wife of 20 years. We've been through the deepest valleys, and we've been through the coldest storms. All of our love for one another has been like a blast of sunlight in my life. Over and over she's had opportunities, and good reasons, to allow distance to come between us, and consistently she's chosen not to. She's so beautiful, and she is my mycorrhiza. I have beautiful friendships with people who love me, they care deeply for me, and they say encouraging things to me on the internet when I do writing projects. This is my mycorrhiza. I am a baker, and there's nothing more beautiful than the baked goods made with a heart of kindness and love. Have you smelled brown butter as it's cooking? Really spent time smelling the changes as it deepens in color and clarifies? Have you experienced victory in the kitchen? Attempting something just a little bit outside your skill level and reaping the reward of realizing it's very much within your skill level. And I have a beautiful sense of importance for cultivating kindness and love in my life. Not everyone has these things. I am, again, the bearer of an embarrassment of riches. There is obviously ugliness in the world, and we've talked about some of those things. There is myopic hatred, there's fear, there's darkness, and there are all of the ways we can treat one another when those things are guiding us. But as the very wise and the very kind and the very beautiful Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate, only love can do that. We cannot out-hate the hate-filled. I know. I've tried. We can only out-love them. We cannot out-ugly the ugly things in this life. We can only fight against them with real beauty, whole-cloth beauty woven on the loom of our experiences and choices. So shake your booties, boys and girls. There is beauty in the world.